Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Are you satisfied with where you are in life right now? Are you truly living up to your potential, or have you settled for mediocrity? You see, too often we wait for the perfect moment, the perfect year, the perfect set of circumstances to turn things around. But let me tell you something, the clock is ticking. Time is not waiting for you. And if you're not careful, you'll look up and it'll be 2025 and nothing will have changed. Taking an honest look at yourself can be one of the most uncomfortable yet transformative steps you'll ever take in your life. It requires courage to confront your flaws, acknowledge your shortcomings, and own up to the ways you've been standing in your own way. But here's the truth: you cannot fix what you refuse to face. If you're serious about changing your life before 2025, the first step is to stop hiding from the truth about yourself and start embracing it. For so many of us, it's easier to point fingers at external circumstances. We blame the economy, our upbringing, our relationships, our lack of opportunities, anything to avoid looking inward. But the reality is, those things might explain where you are right now, but they don't have to define where you're going. Your current situation is not your final destination unless you allow it to be. And the first step to breaking free from it is taking full responsibility for your life as it stands today. Responsibility isn't about self-blame, it's about self-empowerment. When you take responsibility for where you are, you reclaim the power to change it. But to do that, you need to ask yourself the hard questions. What habits have you allowed to dictate your life? Are you consistently procrastinating, letting fear hold you back, or clinging to comfort zones that no longer serve you? Are you telling yourself stories like, "I'm not good enough, it's too late for me," or "I don't have what it takes"? These stories feel safe because they absolve us of the effort required to change. But safety isn't the same as happiness, and comfort isn't the same as fulfillment. To face the truth about yourself, you need to stop running from the mirror. Sit down with yourself and reflect. What have you been tolerating in your life that you know deep down is unacceptable? Maybe it's staying in a toxic relationship, neglecting your health, or holding onto a job that drains your soul. Maybe it's as simple as spending hours every day scrolling through your phone instead of working on your dreams. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. Write it down if you have to. The goal isn't to beat yourself up, but to shine a light on the areas of your life that need attention. Self-awareness is a superpower, but it's one that requires humility. It's not about pretending you have all the answers or that you've got it all figured out. It's about being honest enough to admit where you're falling short and being brave enough to do something about it. When you face the truth about yourself, you'll likely feel a mix of emotions: disappointment, frustration, maybe even shame. That's normal. But don't let those feelings paralyze you. Use them as fuel to push forward. One of the biggest barriers to self-reflection is the fear of what you might find. You might uncover fears you didn't realize you had, or you might come face to face with dreams you buried because you were afraid to pursue them. That's okay. What matters is that you're finally facing them. Because until you do, you'll continue to live on autopilot, repeating the same cycles, stuck in the same patterns year after year. Facing the truth about yourself also means accepting that you are both the problem and the solution. That might sound harsh, but it's actually liberating. If the problem is you, then you don't have to wait for anyone else to fix it. You don't need permission, approval, or validation from anyone to change your life. It's entirely in your hands. That's the beauty of self-awareness. It empowers you to take action. Self-awareness without action is meaningless. Once you've identified the areas where you need to improve, the next step is to commit to doing the work. Maybe that means seeking therapy to work through past traumas, enrolling in a course to develop new skills, or simply creating a daily routine that supports your goals. Whatever it is, take ownership of it. You can't change what you won't confront, and you can't confront what you won't admit. Another critical part of facing the truth about yourself is letting go of the victim mindset. Life isn't always fair, we all know that. You may have been dealt a tough hand, but dwelling on it won't change it. The world doesn't owe you anything, and waiting for someone to come along and rescue you is a waste of time. You are responsible for your own happiness, success, and growth. That might sound like a heavy burden, but it's also the most empowering truth you'll ever embrace. When you stop blaming others and start taking accountability, you become unstoppable. Facing the truth also means recognizing your strengths, not just your weaknesses. It's about understanding that you are more capable than you give yourself credit for. Sure, you've made mistakes. We all have. But you've also survived every challenge life has thrown at you up to this point. You've endured, you've learned, and you're still standing. That resilience is proof that you have what it takes to create a better future for yourself. It's important to remember that facing the truth is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. As you grow, you'll uncover new layers of yourself, new habits to break, and new goals to strive for. But the more you practice self-reflection, the easier it becomes. It's like working a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you get. So take the time to sit with yourself. Be honest, be raw, be real. This is your life we're talking about. And no one else is going to live it for you. You owe it to yourself to face the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Because the sooner you do, the sooner you can start building the life you truly want, one step, one habit, one decision at a time. Too often people wait for the right time to take action. They think they need perfect circumstances, a clean slate, or a new year to begin pursuing their goals. But life doesn't work like that. Waiting for the ideal moment is just a subtle way of procrastinating, a delay tactic disguised as planning. The truth is, the best time to start is always now. If you want to change your life, you must take action today, no matter how small the step, because time will not pause for you and opportunities won't wait. The idea of starting someday is an illusion. Someday isn't real. It's a vague promise we make to ourselves to feel better about not starting today. We think I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll wait until next month, but readiness is a myth. You don't magically wake up one day with all the motivation, resources, and confidence you need to make a change. Readiness is something you create through action. You build momentum by starting, not by waiting. Taking action today doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life in one sweeping motion. That's overwhelming and unrealistic. Big changes are built on small, consistent actions. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. If you want to improve your health, start by drinking more water today or going for a 10-minute walk. If you want to grow your career, spend 15 minutes updating your resume or reaching out to someone in your network. These small steps might seem insignificant on their own, but they add up over time. They create habits, and habits shape your life. There's power in starting small because small actions are manageable. They bypass the fear and resistance that comes with trying to take on too much at once. And here's the thing, when you start small, you build trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that you can take action even when it feels uncomfortable. That trust is the foundation for bigger changes. The act of starting also shifts your mindset. It moves you from being a passive observer of your life to an active participant. When you take action, you reclaim control. You stop waiting for life to happen to you and start making things happen for yourself. That's a powerful shift, one that can change everything. Even if you're unsure of the outcome, even if you don't know all the steps ahead, the very act of moving forward gives you clarity. You learn as you go. You adjust. You grow. But taking action requires courage. It's easy to stay stuck in planning mode, where everything feels safe and theoretical. Action, on the other hand, is messy. It's uncertain. It comes with the risk of failure. But failure is not the enemy, inaction is. Every time you take a step, even if it doesn't work out the way you hoped, you gain experience. You learn what works and what doesn't. You discover your strengths and your areas for improvement. Failure is feedback, and feedback is essential for growth. One of the biggest obstacles to taking action is overthinking. We analyze, strategize, and plan until we've talked ourselves out of doing anything at all. Our minds create all kinds of reasons why now isn't the right time. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if people judge me? But those are just stories you've told yourself for so long that you've started believing them. The best way to silence those doubts is to act in spite of them. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to take the first step. Another obstacle is the fear of imperfection. We want our efforts to be flawless, and when they're not, we hesitate to even begin. But perfection is an impossible standard, and chasing it will only keep you stuck. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. When you focus on progress, you allow yourself to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. You stop judging yourself so harshly and start appreciating the effort you're putting in. Taking action also requires discipline. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. Discipline means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means choosing long-term goals over short-term comfort. It means doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard. And the good news is, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you push yourself to take action, you're strengthening your ability to keep moving forward. It's important to understand that action doesn't have to be perfect or monumental to be meaningful. Every little step counts. Every decision to do something, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. The simple act of starting creates momentum. And momentum is what carries you through when things get tough. It's like pushing a boulder uphill. Those first few pushes take the most effort. But once it starts moving, it becomes easier to keep it going. Taking action also sets you apart. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right feeling to take the first step. They stay stuck because they never take action. But when you act, you break free from that cycle. You separate yourself from the crowd. You move closer to the person you're meant to be, while others stay in the same place. And here's the beauty of action. It creates a ripple effect. When you take a step, no matter how small, it influences other areas of your life. You start building confidence, which encourages you to take more steps. You start seeing results, which motivates you to keep going. That one small decision to act can transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you as well. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Stop looking for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. Start today. Take a small step. Then another and another. Before you know it, you'll have created the momentum you need to change your life. The power to transform your future lies in your actions, and those actions start right now. Excuses are one of the most dangerous habits you can fall into. They feel comforting in the moment, a way to justify inaction or avoid taking responsibility for your life. But every excuse you make is a wall you build between yourself and your goals. Excuses don't protect you, they limit you. They keep you stuck in the same place year after year while the opportunities to grow and achieve slip away. If you want to make real progress before 2025, you must destroy the excuses holding you back. Excuses often feel valid because they're rooted in real circumstances. You might think, I don't have enough time, or I don't have the resources, or it's not the right moment. These thoughts might even have some truth to them. But the truth is only part of the equation. The deeper question is, what are you going to do about it? Everyone faces challenges, obstacles, and limitations, but the people who succeed are the ones who refuse to let those things become excuses. They find a way to work with what they have, where they are, and they keep pushing forward. One of the most common excuses is, I don't have enough time. Time is the great equalizer. Everyone gets 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't lies in how they use that time. If you constantly say you're too busy to work on your dreams, it's time to take a hard look at how you're spending your hours. Are you spending hours scrolling through social media, binge watching shows, or engaging in activities that don't align with your goals? Be honest with yourself. You don't lack time, you lack priorities. When something truly matters to you, you make time for it. Another common excuse is, I don't have the resources. Maybe you think you need more money, better connections, or access to certain tools before you can start. But history is filled with examples of people who achieved incredible success with limited resources. The key is not to focus on what you lack, but to focus on what you can do with what you have. If you don't have money to invest in your goals, start small with what's free or inexpensive. If you don't have the skills yet, start learning. The internet is full of resources, many of them free, that can help you grow. Stop waiting for the perfect circumstances. They don't exist. Start where you are and let momentum build over time. Fear is another major source of excuses. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? These are questions that hold so many people back. But here's the truth. Fear is normal. Everyone feels it. The difference is that successful people act despite their fear, while others let it paralyze them. Fear is just a signal that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. Instead of letting fear become an excuse, use it as a guide. If something scares you, it's probably worth pursuing because it means it has the potential to change your life. Another subtle form of excuse is blaming others or external circumstances for your situation. It's easy to point fingers at your upbringing, your environment, or even the economy as reasons why you can't succeed. While these factors can create real challenges, blaming them won't change your situation. Taking responsibility for your life doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties you face. It means refusing to let them define you. It means saying, this is my life and I am in control of what happens next. Blaming others gives away your power. Taking responsibility reclaims it. Procrastination is another form of excuse, often disguised as perfectionism or preparation. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow or next week or when you have more experience. But the perfect moment doesn't exist, and waiting for it is just another way of avoiding action. Progress is better than perfection. Starting messy is better than not starting at all. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to begin. Action creates momentum, and momentum is what propels you forward. Don't let the fear of imperfection keep you from taking that first step. Excuses often stem from a fixed mindset, the belief that your abilities and circumstances are set in stone. You might think, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, or I wasn't born into the right situation. But a fixed mindset is a lie. You have the power to learn, grow, and improve. Every skill can be developed with effort. Every challenge can be overcome with persistence. When you shift to a growth mindset, excuses lose their power because you start to see every obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. One way to eliminate excuses is to surround yourself with people who hold you accountable. Accountability is a powerful motivator because it forces you to confront the gap between your words and your actions. When you tell someone your goals and ask them to check in on your progress, you're far less likely to make excuses. Choose people who will push you to stay committed, not those who will let you off the hook. Accountability doesn't mean harsh criticism. It means having someone who genuinely cares about your success and won't let you settle for less. Another strategy for destroying excuses is to focus on your why. Why do you want to achieve your goals? Why is it important to you? When your why is strong enough, your excuses start to fade. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, remind yourself of why it matters. Maybe it's to have more energy for your family, to avoid health issues, or to feel more confident in your own skin. When your reason is deeply personal and meaningful, it becomes harder to justify not taking action. Ultimately, excuses are just stories we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort. But growth requires discomfort. Achieving your goals requires effort, sacrifice, and resilience. The sooner you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility, the sooner you'll see results. Life will never hand you success on a silver platter. You have to go out and claim it. Destroy your excuses, take ownership of your life, and watch how everything starts to change. Consistency is the secret weapon that separates those who succeed from those who only dream of success. It's not about massive action in short bursts or dramatic gestures for a few days. It's about the steady, disciplined commitment to show up every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter how small the progress might seem. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum creates transformation. If you truly want to fix yourself before 2025, you must understand that consistency is not optional, it's essential. The challenge with consistency is that it often feels mundane. It's easy to be motivated at the start of a journey when everything feels fresh and exciting. You're fueled by a burst of enthusiasm, visualizing the end result and imagining how your life will change. But as the days go by and the work becomes repetitive, motivation fades. This is where most people give up. They mistake the absence of motivation for a signal to stop. But the truth is, success doesn't care about your mood or motivation, it cares about your discipline. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's waking up early every day to work on your goals even when you'd rather sleep in. It's sticking to your workout routine when you're tired or unmotivated. It's choosing healthy meals over junk food, even when temptation is staring you in the face. It's spending 10 minutes a day learning a new skill even when progress feels slow. The small daily actions might not feel significant in the moment, but they compound over time. Every day you stay consistent, you're planting seeds that will eventually grow into the results you desire. The power of consistency lies in its ability to create habits. Habits are the foundation of your life. They determine how you spend your time, how you react to challenges, and ultimately who you become. When you repeat an action consistently, it becomes automatic. You no longer have to rely on willpower or motivation because it's simply a part of your routine. For example, if you commit to reading for 15 minutes every night, it might feel like a chore at first. But after a few weeks, it becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it, it just happens. One of the biggest obstacles to consistency is the desire for immediate results. We live in a world that values instant gratification, and it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see progress right away. But consistency requires patience. It's like planting a tree. You don't see growth overnight, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Beneath the surface, the roots are spreading, creating a foundation for the tree to thrive. The same is true for your goals. The results of your consistent efforts might not be visible right away, but they're building a foundation for your future success. Another challenge to consistency is the fear of imperfection. Too many people think they have to be perfect to make progress. They miss one day at the gym or slip up on their diet, and they feel like they've failed. But consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means persistence. It's about getting back on track after a setback and refusing to let one mistake derail your entire journey. Life is unpredictable, and there will be days when things don't go as planned. What matters is your ability to keep going, to stay committed even when things get tough. A helpful strategy for staying consistent is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. It's good to have big goals, but if you're only focused on the end result, it's easy to get overwhelmed or discouraged. Instead, break your goal down into small, manageable steps and focus on completing those steps every day. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't obsess over finishing the entire thing. Commit to writing 1 page a day. If your goal is to lose weight, don't focus solely on the number on the scale. Commit to eating a healthy meal or going for a walk today. When you focus on the process, the results take care of themselves. Accountability is another powerful tool for building consistency. When you keep your goals to yourself, it's easy to let them slide. But when you share your goals with someone else, a friend, a mentor, even a community, you create a sense of responsibility. You don't want to let them down, and that added pressure can help you stay on track. Accountability partners can also provide encouragement and support on the days when your motivation is low. They remind you why you started and help you stay committed to the journey. Consistency is also about making your environment work for you. Your surroundings have a huge impact on your habits and behavior. If you're trying to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove junk food from your home. If you're trying to be more productive, create a workspace that minimizes distractions. If you're trying to exercise regularly, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Small changes to your environment can make it easier to stay consistent and reduce the need for constant willpower. Finally, celebrate your small wins along the way. Consistency is hard work, and it's important to acknowledge your efforts. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Did you stick to your workout plan this week? Celebrate that. Did you spend 10 minutes learning a new skill today? Celebrate that too. Recognizing your progress keeps you motivated and reminds you that your efforts are paying off, even if the results aren't visible yet. Consistency isn't about grand gestures or overnight success. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting the process. It's about staying committed to your goals, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, and even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because over time, those small, consistent actions add up to something extraordinary. Consistency is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Stay the course, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Consistency is the key to achieving lasting success. It's the small daily actions that compound over time and lead to transformative results. By showing up, staying disciplined, and focusing on the process, you build habits that support your goals. The journey may be slow, but with consistency, progress is inevitable. Keep moving forward and success will follow. Growth is not a comfortable process. It never has been, and it never will be. To achieve something you've never had, you must be willing to do things you've never done. That means stepping out of your comfort zone, confronting your fears, and embracing the pain of discipline. But here's the thing, while growth may hurt, the pain of staying the same is far worse. If you want to elevate your life before 2025, you have to commit to personal growth, no matter how uncomfortable it might feel. Too many people shy away from growth because it requires effort and sacrifices. It's easier to stay where you are, even if you're unhappy, than to venture into the unknown. But comfort zones are deceptive. They might feel safe, but they are traps that keep you stagnant. The longer you stay in them, the harder it becomes to break free. Growth, on the other hand, is your gateway to a better life. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Personal growth starts with a decision. You have to decide that you are no longer satisfied with mediocrity. You have to decide that your dreams and goals are worth fighting for. And you have to decide that you are willing to do whatever it takes to become the person you need to be to achieve them. That decision is the foundation of growth. It's what gives you the strength to push through the discomfort and stay the course when things get tough. Once you've made the decision, the next step is to identify the areas of your life that need improvement. Maybe it's your health, your relationships, your finances, or your mindset. Be honest with yourself about where you're falling short. Growth requires self-awareness, and self-awareness requires humility. You have to be willing to look at your weaknesses and acknowledge the habits and behaviors that are holding you back. This isn't about self-criticism, it's about taking responsibility for your life and recognizing that you have the power to change it. Growth also requires discipline. Motivation might get you started, but it won't sustain you. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, when the progress seems slow, or when the challenges feel overwhelming. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the ability to keep going even when you don't feel like it. It's the commitment to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows. Another essential aspect of personal growth is learning to embrace failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every successful person has faced setbacks, made mistakes, and experienced disappointments. What sets them apart is their ability to learn from those experiences and keep moving forward. Failure is a teacher, not a stop sign. It shows you what doesn't work and pushes you to find a better way. When you embrace failure as part of the process, you stop fearing it and start using it to fuel your growth. Growth also demands sacrifice. You can't grow if you're clinging to the same old habits, mindsets, and behaviors that got you where you are now. You might have to give up late-night Netflix binges to wake up earlier and work on your goals. You might have to distance yourself from people who drain your energy or discourage your dreams. You might have to let go of the need for instant gratification and focus on the long-term rewards of your efforts. Sacrifice isn't easy, but it's necessary. And every sacrifice you make brings you one step closer to the life you want. One of the most powerful tools for personal growth is consistency. Small, consistent actions over time lead to massive results. You don't have to make huge changes overnight. In fact, trying to do too much at once can be overwhelming and unsustainable. Instead, focus on making incremental improvements every day. Maybe you spend 10 minutes reading a book that expands your knowledge. Maybe you commit to exercising for 15 minutes a day. Maybe you take 5 minutes every morning to write down your goals and visualize your future. These small actions might not seem like much, but over time they compound into significant progress. Another key to growth is surrounding yourself with the right people. The company you keep has a powerful influence on your mindset and behavior. If you're surrounded by people who are complacent, negative, or uninterested in growth, their energy will rub off on you. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable, they will elevate you to new levels. Seek out mentors, join communities of like-minded individuals, and cultivate relationships with people who are committed to growth. Their support and encouragement can make all the difference. Growth also requires patience. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But growth is a process, not a destination. It takes time to develop new habits, acquire new skills, and achieve meaningful goals. Trust the process and don't let temporary setbacks or slow progress deter you. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Celebrate your progress and use it as motivation to keep going. Finally, growth is a lifelong journey. There is no point where you arrive and no longer need to improve. As long as you're alive, there's room for growth. Embrace it as a continuous process and approach each day with a mindset of curiosity and openness. Look for opportunities to learn, to challenge yourself, and to become better. The more you grow, the more you'll realize that the possibilities for your life are limitless. And the sooner you commit to growth, the sooner you'll start unlocking those possibilities. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most impactful decisions you can make in your life. The people you choose to spend time with have the power to influence your mindset, your behavior, and ultimately your future. Their words, actions, and energy seep into your subconscious and can either push you forward or pull you back. If you're serious about transforming your life, you must become intentional about your relationships. You need to build a circle of influence that aligns with the vision you have for your life. It starts with an honest evaluation of your current relationships. Who are the people in your life right now? Do they inspire you to grow? Or do they encourage you to stay the same? Do they challenge you to think bigger? Or do they feed your doubts and insecurities? These are tough questions, but they're necessary. The truth is, not everyone in your life will be on the same journey as you. Some people will outgrow their potential, while others will cling to mediocrity. You have to decide which of those people deserve a place in your inner circle. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that not everyone is meant to come with you to the next level of your life. Sometimes growth requires letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. It's not about judging or blaming others, it's about recognizing that their values, priorities, and habits may not align with where you're headed. This doesn't mean you have to cut people off completely, but it does mean you have to be mindful of the time and energy you invest in certain relationships. If someone constantly drains your energy, criticizes your dreams, or keeps you stuck in old patterns, it's time to reassess their role in your life. At the same time, it's important to seek out relationships that uplift and empower you. These are the people who see your potential, even when you can't see it yourself. They encourage you to take risks, hold you accountable, and celebrate your victories as if they were their own. They are your mentors, your cheerleaders, and your challengers. Surrounding yourself with these kinds of people creates an environment of growth and possibility. Mentorship is a key component of building the right circle. A mentor is someone who has already achieved what you aspire to achieve. They've walked the path you're on, and they can offer guidance, wisdom, and perspective. A good mentor will not only teach you the skills and strategies you need, but also challenge you to step outside your comfort zone. They won't let you settle for less than your potential, and they'll hold you to a higher standard. If you don't already have a mentor, start looking for one. Reach out to someone you admire, join a group or organization in your field, or simply ask for advice. The right mentor can change your life. Equally important are your peers, those who are on a similar journey as you. These are the people who understand the struggles and challenges you're facing because they're going through them too. They're the ones who can share ideas, offer support, and hold you accountable. Being part of a community of like-minded individuals creates a sense of belonging and shared purpose. It reminds you that you're not alone in your journey and gives you the motivation to keep going. On the flip side, be cautious of toxic relationships. Toxic people can come in many forms: the friend who always criticizes you, the coworker who gossips behind your back, or the family member who dismisses your goals. These people can drain your energy, lower your confidence, and make you question your worth. If someone consistently brings negativity into your life, it's essential to set boundaries. Protect your energy and don't be afraid to distance yourself if necessary. Your peace and growth are worth more than maintaining a toxic relationship. It's also important to recognize that you play a role in the relationships you attract. If you want to be surrounded by positive, driven, and successful people, you need to embody those qualities yourself. Like attracts like. If you're constantly negative, complaining, or unwilling to grow, you'll attract others who share those traits. But if you're committed to personal development, if you're optimistic, and if you're willing to put in the work, you'll naturally attract people who share your mindset. Becoming intentional about your circle doesn't mean you only surround yourself with people who agree with you or tell you what you want to hear. Growth requires being challenged, and sometimes that means having people in your life who push back against your ideas or hold you accountable when you're not showing up as your best self. Constructive criticism, when given with love and respect, is a powerful tool for growth. Seek out people who are honest with you, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Building the right circle of influence also involves contributing to the growth of others. Relationships are a two-way street, and it's not just about what you can get from others, but also what you can give. Be the kind of person who uplifts, supports, and encourages those around you. Celebrate their successes, offer a listening ear during their struggles, and share your knowledge and experiences. When you invest in others, you create a cycle of positivity and growth that benefits everyone. The people you surround yourself with shape the person you become. Their habits, beliefs, and attitudes influence your own, whether you realize it or not. If you want to elevate your life, you must elevate your circle. Be intentional about the energy you allow into your life and prioritize relationships that align with your vision and values. The right people will not only help you grow, but also remind you of your greatness when you forget it yourself. Choose your circle wisely because your future depends on it.